Number 10. The Blue Giant of the Orient. This century-old sapphire has spent most of its life shrouded in mystery, as after it was sold in 1907 to an anonymous bidder and remained out of the public eye until 2004. Along with most of the largest sapphires in the world, this 486.5 carat gem was mined in Sri Lanka. This gem really is a giant, measuring at nearly 2 inches wide, 2.5 inches long, and 1 inch thick. Completely saturated with color, the rough stone weighed over 600 carats before being meticulously cut into what would eventually become known as the Blue Giant of the Orient. Originally purchased in 1907 for a reasonable sum of 10,000 USD, when it finally made its reappearance 100 years later, that price had shot up to the relatively small sum of $1 million. A real sparkling bargain compared to our next prized possession. Number 9. Pink Star Diamond. Currently the holder of the title for most valuable pink diamond, the Pink Star is considered one of the finest gems in the history of the world. Pink diamonds themselves are pretty rare, but this beauty is astoundingly large, weighing in at 59.6 carats. One of few diamonds this size to have flawless internal clarity, it has come a long way since it was found in Africa in 1999. Found by the De Beers Corporation as a rough stone, it was double the size it is now and weighed a whopping 132.5 carats. Scientists have worked out why certain diamonds may be found in different colors. Red diamonds, for example, are formed due to changes in the electron structure of the diamond. Yellow diamonds contain additional nitrogen. As for why diamonds can turn pink, that one hasn't been figured out yet. A businessman from Hong Kong valued this particular pink diamond's worth at $71.2 million, buying it in 2017. Number 8. Filipino Pearl. This beautiful stone weighs an impressive 75 pounds and sits at 27 inches long and 12 inches wide. It blows the previous largest natural pearl found right out of the water. This as yet unnamed pearl was found by a Filipino fisherman, who kept it under his bed for upwards of a decade. Discovering his good luck charm in the waters of Palawan, he has the anchor of his boat to thank. It had become lodged underwater, and when he dove down to dislodge it, he found it held up on a giant clam. Despite the common misconception, pearls are more often found in oysters than clams, but not in this case. After over 10 years of living quietly in the unnamed man's home, it is now on display and has been valued somewhere in the region of $90 to $100 million. Number 7. The Nilanjali Ruby. The red Nilanjali is the world's largest double-star ruby. During rare occurrences, it's possible to see a star on the surface of the gem, and in even rarer instances, it's possible to see the star on both sides. Exclusivity means money, so it comes as no surprise to find out this tiny red rock is worth a cool 100 million US dollars, making each of its 1,370 carats worth just shy of $73,000 each. Believed to be cursed, for years a Hindu family dynasty had possession of the stone. It remained covered in soot and dirt for generations, as no one would dare touch it. In 1988, its true beauty and true worth were finally revealed. Number 6. Myanmar Jade. Miners in Myanmar, formerly known as Burma, unearthed one of the biggest precious gems ever in 2016. This enormous boulder of translucent green jade stands 14 feet high and 19 feet long and weighs approximately 200 tons. Not to be confused with its lower quality counterpart found in decorative pieces and sculptures, Myanmar is a hotspot responsible for about 70% of the world's finest jadeite, a rare and higher quality jade specifically used in jewelry. In turn, the whole industry is responsible for about 50% of Myanmar's GDP, totaling over $35 billion a year. Neighboring China is one of their biggest buyers, who know the gem as the Stone of Heaven. This stone was not found in the heavens, but at nearly 300 feet deep inside a mountain in the north of Myanmar. Estimates put the total value of the boulder at $140 million. and it was sent to China, where it's due to be carved up into thousands of expensive jewels. Number 5. The Star of Adam. The modern-day discovery of this blue sapphire makes it the 5th most valuable stone in our ranks, and the biggest sapphire mined to date. Nearly double the size of the previous record holder, the Star of Adam originates from Ratnapura, Sri Lanka, nicknamed the City of Gems. It was mined there in August of 2015 and boasts a whopping 1,404.49 carats. In real-world terms, that is about 0.6 pounds or $2.50, making its valuation of $180 million particularly unbelievable. Before its sale, the most expensive sapphire sold was for less than $18 million, but it's unknown how much the current holder paid for this particular sapphire. The anonymous owner of the Star of Adam has been quoted saying, "This was not a piece of jewelry, but an exhibition piece. Although it is not currently on display to the general public, Number 4. The Koh-i-Noor. Now weighing a massive 109 carats, this diamond, whose name means Mountain of Light in Persian, lives in the crown of Queen Elizabeth II. Originally mined in the 13th century from near Guntur, India, the rough, uncut, clear diamond was 793 carats and was owned by the Kakatiya dynasty of South India. Cut and recut over the years, the stone is now less than 1.5 inches along its width and length, and is only half an inch thick. Even at this size, the Koh-i-Noor diamond is still worth over $200 million. Today, like many of the Royal Crown jewels, it can be found in the Tower of London, and is seen by millions of tourists each year. Governments from India, Pakistan, Iran, and Afghanistan have all claimed to be the rightful owners of the more than precious stone. But naturally, the British deny this costly claim. Number 3. The Hope Diamond. This beautiful blue stone may come with an inspiring name, but it has a long and bloody history. Before being given its new name, it was owned by King Louis XIV, who named it Le Bleu de France. It remained in possession of the French monarchy even during the French Revolution in 1793, when King Louis XIV and his wife Marie Antoinette were beheaded. Known to have originated from a mine in Guntur near the Bay of Bengal, India, the earliest documents to the stone go back to 1666. But it remains a mystery as to who discovered or cut the blue diamond first. The 45.5 carat gem was purchased by the Hope family, who very cleverly renamed it the Hope Diamond in 1839. Recent valuations put the Hope Diamond's value at $350 million, and it is available for all to see after its donation to the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. I wonder if the donation was tax deductible. Number 2. The Cullinan Diamond. This enormous diamond was found in the South African mines of the same name in January of 1905. When it was first found, the blue-white rough diamond contained 3,106 carats and was presented as a gift to the British royal family. While being sent to the UK, it was placed in the ship captain's safe and was kept under armed guard 24/7. What none of these men knew was that the real stone was actually sent via the Royal Mail in a biscuit tin. They had been tasked instead with guarding an exact replica. A few years later, the giant diamond was cut and polished, transforming into 9 large gems and over 100 smaller ones. The Cullinan I, aka the Great Star of Africa, and the Cullinan II, which landed the slightly underwhelming title of the Lesser Star of Africa, were both presented to King Edward VII and now reside in the Tower of London as part of the crown jewels. Royals do like to keep it in the family, so to speak, and Queen Elizabeth II is the current owner of the 7 remaining large stones after inheriting them from her grandmother, Queen Mary. The original rough diamond would have been worth over $400 million if found today. Number 1. The Bahia Emerald. Crashing in at number 1 is the piece de résistance, the Bahia Emerald, which was found deep in the eastern jungles of Brazil in July of 2001. Brazil is home to many emerald mines, and this was, to date, the mother of all finds. It is the largest single shard of emerald ever pulled from the earth. With 1.9 million carats, it stands at 3 feet tall and weighs nearly 850 pounds, and holds. It should come as no surprise that it comes with its own controversies. Since its discovery, 9 men, 1 woman, 3 corporations, and 1 government have laid claim to its ownership. Reportedly smuggled all the way from Brazil into the United States, the giant green rock was then subject to multiple sales and thefts, as well as a brief disappearance in the wake of Hurricane Katrina. For 2 months, it lay submerged 16 feet underwater around New Orleans before it was retrieved. Currently sitting in an undisclosed location in Los Angeles County, a judge presides over the cases from several men and the country of Brazil. If you're wondering how much it takes to square up to a government, the going rate is currently an estimated $900 million. Brazil claims that as it was mined and exported illegally, the stone is still their property, regardless of any transactions made thereafter. Already 10 years into legal proceedings, there is no end in sight. Would you rather own a $1 million gemstone that you can't sell, or $100,000 in the bank?